No. I had to kill a man once who did blood magic on nugs. 100 little pigs with hands came after me. All together in one big writhing ball. Have you ever tried to stab a ball of angry nugs? That was a bad job.
I've got a better one. You know what the Wandering Hills are named for? It's a monster. Big heap of red tentacles that crawls around, devouring everything in its path. The damn thing was a hillside, the size of a village. You try fighting a hill with a sword sometime.
How did you kill it?
Lamp oil. Everything stank of burnt tentacles for miles after.
If the two of you were going to open a bottle, you might have told me first.
It's not a good bottle.
Might have to pick up a supply. I have a feeling we'll need it. Is anyone else hungry? Maybe I should cook something.
What about you, Rook? What's the worst job you've ever been on?
Nevin Harding didn't tell you about our hunt for Solus, then?
They don't tell it the way you would.
I mean, it ended with the elven god of lies in my head. Is that enough to win the worst job contest?
You joining us then?
Fine. I'll cook something, if Rook's staying.
Maybe just for a minute.
Rook's story first. Then Lucanus owes me one about this contract on a Bronto.
Mierda. That Bronto.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You and Algernon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind. And you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He uses his power to crush any opposition.
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elgernon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I suspect them calling Elgar'nan and Gillenane and all the rest gods didn't go over well with you.
Indeed. To see that the history the Dalish worked so hard to preserve was the propaganda of tyrants was vexing. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elgar'nan, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elgar'nan's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elgar'nan out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I'm impressed you got that out without choking on it.
If I could not admit when I was wrong, I would be no better than Elgar'nan. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
What about the Inquisitor? Does she not count as a friend?
She does. One of several I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition. There was also Cole, a spirit of compassion I helped adapt to our world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elgar'nan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elgar'nan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elgar'nan's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elgar'nan's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Okay, we always knew this was going to be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this or all of Thedas falls. So we see it through. All the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before. Not without help, we didn't. So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
Did the Veil Jumpers find any traces of where Elgarnon and his archdemon went?
No. Venatori started swarming the area right after we left, and they had to leave.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
Did Viago tell you how much time we have?
Days to weeks. Nothing more precise.
Well, that's our best lead so far. Track those supplies, and we should find the gods. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Despite the odds, we've survived. We've made a habit of it. Take some time, rest. Be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since...
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know. Myrna, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far,
We
but...
have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
I hate to say it, but it's sort of clever.
Johanna was never short on cleverness. But we found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems... stubborn.
Perhaps Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom... Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
You could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
A little fear is healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
Not good. Not even a little bit. Rook, we have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I'd know if they started another ritual? They did, and it's big. Really, really big. Arlethan big, maybe.
You're sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
We really like going towards the bad thing instead of away from it.
It's not time for jokes, Rook. Sorry, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry, but it's bad.
So let's go stop them then.
Right. Let's hope they aren't very far along.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. And there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time. Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
You can talk to your friends about it. I hear that helps.
It's already helping. You checking on me, I mean. I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
I know you would have done the same for me.
You helped me remember who I was. Not some Titan, but just Lace Harding. And yes, if you ever need me like I needed you, I will be there. That is my promise to you. You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. But do you think he can be helped?
The Inquisitor and Solus were friends. I know she wants her friend back. She's reached out. All Solus has to do is take the offered hand, the simplest thing. And yet, no one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
Rook, I've compiled the last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Alia can't hide anymore.
Maybe, but getting to her won't be easy.
So where is this place?
The Minratha's Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alia's haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
Alia is going to have a bad day.
Fingers crossed. Ducktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
So what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan, put the last pieces in place after that. We'll see.